May the words of my lips and the meditations of our hearts be always acceptable to you, Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Amen. I'd like you to cast your minds back to the last time you looked at a school textbook. For some of you, it might be a few weeks. For some of you, it might be longer. And for some of you might be saying, what's a school textbook? They often include diagrams that are labelled as figure 1, figure 2, and so on. Those are technically accurate or informative drawings and tables that help us to understand a situation better. In Jesus' Transfiguration, we are shown something to help us to understand more about him. He is not just a human. So we are not just shown the outwardly visible figure. Instead, we are drawn in deeper to see how the glory of God is shown. Let us think about the ways in which we are shown there is something more going on. As is often the case, Jesus has gone to pray. He has taken 3 of the disciples with him. They've noticed that something is going on. It's not every day when 2 of the most important figures from your nation's history are there in front of you. You can't miss the point that not only has he appeared in glory, but that Moses and Elijah are also appearing in glory. Rowan Williams, in his book, The Dwelling of the Light, when considering the icon that shows the scene of the Transfiguration, tells us that it is the light that comes from him that is reflected on the robes of his companions. They lived hundreds of years before him, yet what makes them radiant, what makes them agents of God, is the light coming from Jesus. During the Transfiguration, the appearance of Jesus' face changed, and his clothes became dazzling white. We could say that the glory and the light of Jesus illuminated all the others. This isn't the usual light of creation, but something greater. The light is coming from Jesus himself. This helps the disciples and us to see the dominion and glory and kingdom that we heard about in our first reading. So I want us to explore the significance of Jesus as a light illuminating us a little further. In Revelation chapter 21, verse 23, in speaking about the holy city coming down out of heaven, we are told that the glory of God is its light, and its lamp is the Lamb. In thinking about light produced by the lamp, we need to consider some symbolism. Charles Spurgeon, the 19th century preacher, drew attention to the fact that in Scripture, light is a symbol of joy. So we can think of Jesus as the joy of heaven. He should also be our joy. He has chosen each of us, loves us, cleansed us, and will robe and glorify us. We will be welcomed because of what Jesus has done for us. Spurgeon also said that light is a source of beauty. All the beauty of the saints comes from Jesus. Their lives are beams emanating from the central orb. Imagine that. The light and beauty that can be visible through us that comes from Jesus. But light also has another feature. It can show us both the beauty and the areas that are in need of attention. It can show us more than we are ready to handle, more than we can fully comprehend. We all have aspects of our lives that need to be addressed and given attention. in order to become nearer to Jesus and to follow his example more closely. Seeing these is only the first step. We have to want to change, to become transformed. In the Transfiguration, we see who is there to help us and how he has the authority and the power to transform us. All we have to do is say yes. Then, with Christ's light shining through us, we too will be able to show the beauty of his love. The Transfiguration not only demonstrated Jesus' sovereignty, glory, and kingly power, it transformed those around him and their understanding. His glory, love, and beauty were able to shine through them. To finish, there are 2 questions I'm going to leave with you to consider. Firstly, what will you allow Christ's light to draw attention to in your life this week? And secondly, where have you seen Christ's light shining through others today?